All right, let's jump right in. Bitcoin just did something massive. We're talking its strongest weekly close ever. This isn't just another green candle. This officially kicks us into a brand new phase of price discovery. And you know what that means? Things are about to get really, really interesting.
So, we've totally smashed through the old records. But that leads to the million-dollar question, right? How much fuel is actually left in this rocket? Are we about to go into hyperspeed, or is it time to hit the brakes and take a quick breather before the next launch?
So to get a handle on that, we're going to look at what the pros are watching. There are three, let's call them secret signals on the blockchain that are giving some huge clues about what's coming. Let's dive in and break them down.
Okay, signal number one is all about structural momentum. Now that might sound complicated, but stick with me. Analysts use a tool called the Donshin channel to track it. The best way to picture it, just think of it as a corridor or a lane that the price is driving in.
And here's the thing, right now the price isn't just in the corridor, it's literally glued to the ceiling. That upper band is sitting at $125,200, and Bitcoin is right up there, just pushing against it. That is a huge, huge sign of strength.
So think of it this way. The market is absolutely flooring the accelerator right now. What this tells us is that the buyers are in complete, total control. Every time there's even a tiny little dip, they're just buying it right back up. The foot is slammed to the floor.
All right, now for signal number two, the Futures Flow Index. This one is super interesting because it basically takes the temperature of the futures market. It's all about measuring the heat and the excitement there, which, can often be a preview of where the actual price is headed.
And get this, the reading is at 96%. Wow, that is incredibly high. When this thing gets this hot, it's what we call bull mode, a classic signal that traders are basically all in, betting that prices are going to keep on climbing. But there's a catch, right? The engine is running really hot. Now, that signals incredible power, for sure, but it's also like redlining a race car. You just can't do it forever. A lot of times, a reading this high is a hint that we might need a brief cooldown. A little pit stop before the next big push.
Okay, that brings us to our third and final signal, and this one's called the profit score. It's super simple, but really powerful. All it does is tell us one thing. Are most Bitcoin holders making money right now, or are they losing it?
And the score is +3. That's the max. You literally can't get any higher. It means pretty much every single person holding Bitcoin right now is in profit. The entire market is just swimming in unrealized gains. So, this is a real double-edged sword. On the one hand, everyone's winning. That creates this amazing buy-the-dip mentality because everyone's feeling confident. But it also creates a temptation to take some of those profits off the table, especially as we get close to that next big number, maybe somewhere around $133,000.
So when you put it all together, you've got strong momentum, a super hot futures market, and everybody's in profit. It kind of feels like we're at a crossroads. The data is pointing to two very different paths Bitcoin could take from here.
Okay, let's look at scenario one, the momentum path. This is pretty much what it sounds like. The bulls just keep charging, they stay in control, and the price keeps climbing without any major pullback.
So how would that look? Well, first, we'd probably see the price build a nice, solid foundation. It would kind of hang out in a tight range, say between $122,000 and $124,000. And then, once that base is built, it starts the slow, steady climb to new all-time highs. But then there's scenario two, the pullback path. And it's super important to know this is not a crash, not at all. Think of it more like a strategic retreat. It's about taking a step back to gather more strength for the next big move up.
What happens here is the price takes a little dip to test some key support levels. The real purpose of this is to shake out all the people who are over-leveraged. Kind of like a reset button for the market. And once that's done, the trend can relaunch from a much stronger, much healthier place.
So we've got two very different paths. The big question is, which one is it going to be? The answer, as always, is in the charts. And there are a few key numbers you absolutely need to have on your radar.
Okay, here are the levels. $125,800, that's the big one, the all-time high we have to beat. Now, if we stay in that 122 to 124K range, that's a good sign for the momentum path. But if we drop down into the 118.5 to 120K zone, that's your signal that the pullback path is playing out. And the danger zone? Anything below $118,000 puts this whole uptrend at risk.
So, the signals are all pointing to a market that is just brimming with power, but it's also at a huge decision point. So I'll leave you with this. What do you think comes next? Are we looking at an unstoppable climb, or is it time for that strategic pause to refuel? The charts are going to tell the story.